All right, hello, welcome to this Tropical Storm Henri update. We're just updating you on Tropical Storm Henri, and we have some developing news in regarding that. Henri is on the cusp of becoming a hurricane, but before I even get to that, I want to go to the warning cone because we are now under a hurricane watch, folks. Hurricane watch looks like for Suffolk County, and then Nassau looks like tropical storm watch. And this is going to have to be watched very closely because this track is really concerning. All right, so let's read the latest public advisory. Henri is almost a hurricane. Storm surge and hurricane watches are in effect for portions of the northeastern United States. As of 2 p.m., location 30.8 north, 73.8 west, about 320 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, about 720 miles south of Montauk Point, New York. Maximum sustained winds are 70 miles an hour, moving north-northwest at 6 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 994 millibars to 9.35 inches. We have, again, we have the storm surge watch, we have the hurricane watch, and we have the tropical storm watch in effect. And Henri is forecast to accelerate in this north direction through early Sunday. On the forecast track, Henri is expected to make landfall in southern New England by late Sunday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 70 miles an hour. The extent of the tropical storm force winds are out to 90 miles from the center. And again, minimum central pressure 994 millibars to 9.35 inches. We're going to go right now to Henri here, which should be the number one storm on here. Not Grace, because this is the one that's threatening us right now. And we're going to go looking at the satellite right now. And I got to say, this thing looks really healthy. And it's definitely on this strengthening. You could see that perfect symmetry there. All signs of a storm that is ready to become a hurricane any minute now. And in fact, I want to look at let's look at the visible high res because it is daytime. So here's the visible high res, and you can see really healthy storm, all that convection going, really healthy. All right, I want to briefly go over some of these models here for our area. We're going to go briefly over them, and we're going to start with the GFS. And the GFS as making a landfall somewhere east of Montauk Point and west of Nantucket. All right, so this is the GFS. That's where it's making the landfall. This will be Sunday morning. Very deep storm. All right. We go to the NAM 12. All right. This is the 12Z NAM 12, and it's doing the same thing. You can see that left hook there into Montauk. All right. So there's an agreement between the NAM and the GFS, which is the first time they've came fairly close to agreeing with an eye right around Montauk. All right. So this would be very bad for the east end of Long Island. We can look at the ICON. ICON is much scarier. This thing, ICON takes it right over Nassau County. All right, so ICON really scary, and the HRRR is kind of close to that ICON as well. If we look at the HRRR, which I'll get a closer look now. So look at this. This would be a major disaster. If it were to take this track, this would be a major disaster for Long Island. If it were to take this track, all right? And this, again, is the ICON. This does show the wind here, all right? So this would be a major disaster, all right? Now let's go and look at the HRRR. This is going to be the 12Z HRRR run that I have, because both the HRRR and the ICON are taking this thing much further west than the GFS. This is a track almost reminiscent of Sandy, and this would be, again, a major disaster, much worse than Sandy if it were to take this track, because we're dealing with a much stronger storm. All right, and we have very little time to prepare, a couple of days, so hopefully you are prepared. I want to go back to the current storms here and go to Henri, which again should be the number one storm, and look at these spaghetti models here. And you can see a lot of them, a couple of them now, a couple of the members are taking them further west, but still the majority of the cluster is over the east end. A track reminiscent to Bob, Hurricane Bob, if you remember that one. But again, we have the potential for a major disaster somewhere along the northeastern coast, and it as time goes by, it doesn't look good for Long Island at all. So I'll have a lot more for you later, and I have to think about if this thing takes this track. I mean, where are you going to go? This is going to be a major disaster, and then it's going to get hot afterwards. And not having power, I'm not going to be able to stay here. So, because this place, you can't. It's going to be. I'll have to go somewhere. The city probably will have power. I mean, because they have an underground grid. So I guess New York City would be a place I might have to stay if that's if that would occur. Because if this western track is going to cause even power problems in Jersey too. So. And that's the main consequence of when you live inland, is not having power. For the shores, a track like this would destroy the South Shore if it went to the west. That's the only way I can put it. But still, it's going to be very bad if it takes this track over here, over the East End. It's going to be very bad for the East End and New England. So we'll keep an eye on this storm for you. Again, potential for a major disaster in the Northeast in the next couple of days.